There you go. For those of you who are wondering, we've been having a great time without you, so hopefully we'll continue to have a good time with you. It's briefing this week. There's Rick.
No.
There's me. Anyways.
Playing musical faces.
Musical faces. Boy, that's like a Zartan trick. Musical faces. Actually pretty kind of fun, wasn't it? Anyways.
Is that what he does for what was that band? Cold Slither?
Cold Slither, that's right. Cold Slither. I've been watching a lot of the cartoons lately, and hopefully in the future, sometime in the near future, you'll find out why. But anyways, it is National Women's Month. That's what somebody told me earlier, and because I thought it was just a day, but it's a whole month. So
yeah, a whole month. Women's History Month.
Yeah, so that's awesome. So what we figured we'd do is we would have a woman collector on tonight for 10 Hut.
Oh,
and
no.
Rick was kind enough to set that all up with Miss Sharky. And you should know that Miss Sharky, by no fault of her own, is actually Rick's daughter. So she's not going to get any preferential treatment whatsoever. She's going to get the same lousy 9 questions that everybody else gets, and we'll see how we do on the 10th, right?
Well, I work with her on the 9, but I know you like to sneak at number 10 in there. So.
Number 10 can be interesting, but yeah, I'll be nice. It'll be fine. She'll be fine. She's going to do a great job. She's got a whole month named after her. She's pretty good to go.
Shark Month. That's Shark Week. No, you're talking about Women Month.
Oh, Shark Week. That's right, too.
Yeah.
We're going to have her back at Shark Week.
Yeah.
You up for that? That'd actually be kind of cool, wouldn't it? Back on Shark Week. It's a good idea.
It's funny when I posted the name in the group, Shane's like, I didn't know her real name.
It's funny. We had a relatively infamous motorcycle gang in Maine through the 60s and 70s, right up until the 80s. And one of the big chapter presidents for years and years and years was a guy named Sharky. And I knew him as a kid and had some dealings with him throughout my life off and on. I don't know if Sharky's still around or not, but every time I hear that name, I get a kind of a blast from the past because it was, geez, holy cow, it's been 20 years since I even seen Sharky. But anyways, back to what we were doing. How are you, Sharky? How you doing?
Wait. Say Sharky.
Wait. Sharky. It's Sharky.
Sharky.
Sharky. It's Sharky. It's SHAH. That's all you need to know.
He's
right?
from Baston. They're up there.
No. You got 2 different things going on there. Them's fighting words. Them massholes. We don't talk about that.
Well, I'm glad you're in South Alabama.
Oh, no, man. We got rid of them in 1820, and it's going to stay that way. So anyways. Hey, kiddo. How you doing?
I'm good.
Awesome. You ready for this?
Sure.
Sure. Did you get the 10 questions in advance that I sent you earlier?
Yeah.
Okay, scrap those. We're doing something different. So
anyway.
So I know we talked about this at the Nerdy Yard Sale, but mostly because of your father's behavior, we had to scrap that recording and it never saw the light of day. Some of this stuff we has actually discussed before, but it's time to make your public debut and make your views known. How's that? So what do you collect? Let's go to 1. What do you collect?
Tomb Raider.
Nice.
Xenomorphs, like the aliens. Of course.
Yep.
The Walking Dead.
Very cool. Some of those, do you have the sets and stuff? Some of those sets were really awesome.
Not any of the Walking Dead, but
No.
I have like all kind of figures of them.
Yep. They made some good stuff. Actually, some of those sets and the individual figures were very good.
She's got a stand-up Rick.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
I have a cardboard cutout of Rick Grimes too.
Nice.
Yeah.
I don't need one, but I think it's great that you have one.
Dave, you're more of a Daryl kind of guy.
Oh, I'm definitely a Daryl guy. Yeah, I'm Team Daryl. Yeah. I'm sorry, guys. We're really just messing around tonight because we're having fun with it. So whatever.
Also have one of Michonne too.
I liked Michonne as a character. I actually did.
Yeah.
I miss The Walking Dead in its good days. I'm going to say the last 3 years were just bad, but
And I also collect like random shark stuff.
that I remember. Yes,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool though. I saw a Funko Pop set of Jaws the other day. Do you have that?
I have one of them.
That's pretty cool, actually. I saw that just randomly at one of the stores. Thought it was kind of cool.
She has relatives that keep buying her this stuff too.
Y'all support it, so
Yeah, exactly. Exactly right.
Especially our brother-in-law during Christmas.
Yeah.
He outdid himself.
Well, that's awesome, though. I mean, it's great to be supported that way because, if you're not, it gets a little lonely sometimes.
Yep.
yeah.
Hey, that's awesome. Hey, John, what are you doing there, anyways?
I'm trying to find a couple of things to get my dates in order for my presentation. So
Nice.
I've
Very good.
been
You're a married
figured it
man.
was
You shouldn't be making
I'm
dates.
pouring sweat. I've been running for the last hour.
I'm telling your wife you're making dates. Get off Tinder.
Yeah, right. All right. Focus, gentlemen. Focus. We have a guest. Holy crap. Man, what is going on tonight? Anyways, I think I know where this question is going to end up, but I'm going to ask it anyways. Are you a fan of heroes, villains, or you're more of an anti-hero girl?
Probably all three.
Really?
Yeah.
I would have had you for anti-heroes like your dad.
She's a big deal.
Well, I mean, Lara Croft, she's a heroine, so
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, there's no grays with her. That's a great character, actually.
yeah.
I like that last movie. She's a great character. I think she'll go down as a classic character. I think she'll still be around in 20 years, even though it's been 20 years that she's been around. So that'll be awesome. Nice. That's actually interesting to hear. What's your favorite line? What's your favorite toy line that you collect?
Probably NECA, because they do the xenomorphs, and
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of those. So
Yep. I've seen a lot of those lately. I have to tell you, I like almost anything NECA does. I like everything but the price, if that makes
Yeah.
any sense. They've made some awesome Godzilla stuff over the last few years,
Oh yeah.
and I mean it's really tempting, but boy, some of it's really up there. But I have seen that Xenomorph stuff.
If they ever start making dinosaurs, you're gonna be screwed.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, pretty much. I'll just sign over my checks and just get it over with. Direct deposit. That's what they should start. Direct deposit programs, and it would it'd be a lot easier, wouldn't it?
Employee deductions, yeah.
It should just be easier. Just send me a stub. Let me know what the Fed took, and send me the rest of the toys. Just get it over with.
But money would be safer with NECA than most banks nowadays.
Oh, don't even go there. We're not getting political now, are we? No, we're not. Thank you very
That's
much.
political there. One of the crappy banks.
Don't want YouTube flagging her channel.
Nope.
Again.
So, Chucky, what's your favorite character? Let me guess. No, go ahead and say it.
Huh?
What's your favorite character?
Lara Croft.
Lara Croft, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, shocking.
Yeah. Boy, breaking
I'm
news.
seriously a fan of Tomb Raider. Like, yeah.
What's your second? Second favorite.
Huh?
What's your second favorite?
Probably
Yeah.
Deadpool.
You like Deadpool?
Oh yeah.
That's definitely anti-hero stuff right there.
Mm.
He's
That's why I like all three.
well, it depends on situation to situation. I guess that's what anti-heroes are, right? I mean, they can be whatever.
Well, she's also an Art the Clown fan, so
Art the Clown. Who's that? That white face guy?
yeah. Yeah.
What's the name of that movie he's from?
Terrifier.
Terrifier. There it is. I haven't seen it.
They got 2 of them. Yeah, it's pretty graphic.
If you like gore and stuff, you
Yeah.
should watch.
Yeah, I figured I'd wait for after it won its first Oscar, and then I'd probably pick it up on Blu-ray. But
Yeah. The guy that plays Art the clown is from Huntsville, Alabama.
Yeah.
oh, nice.
And the show, if you combined Jason with Freddy, that would be
Pretty close, yeah.
Art. Yeah.
Does
So-
it talk? Does it talk at all, or not really?
Never.
No,
No.
he's like a mime or whatever they're called.
Oh, yeah, that's evil right there. That's evil incarnate right there. Oh,
You get terrified
be
with
just-
no words at all.
yeah. That's
When he
right.
gets hurt, he don't make a sound.
Oh, that's not good. What's your favorite piece in your collection right now?
That's a tough one.
Yeah, can it?
I don't think I have a favorite. I think I love them all equally.
That's okay. I mean, some of them are like children, right? We
Yeah, I was
tell them
going
that.
to say, they're your toys, not your kids.
I tell all my toys that too. I love you all equally. It's not really true, but but hey, whatever. I get
I'm
it
probably
though.
my daddy's favorite.
I got yeah. That's a good thing, right?
Yeah.
What's your current Grail piece? What's the piece that you really got to have but just don't have yet?
What I have and don't have yet?
Yep.
It's like a big life-size statue of Lara Croft. I see a lot of collectors have her, but I don't.
Really?
Yeah.
Who made that?
I'm not sure. I was trying to look it up earlier, but I couldn't find anything on it on Google.
Wow. I don't know as I ever saw that. Is it the video game version or is it like Angelina
Yeah, it's like
Jolie?
the
Or
plastic one.
wow.
Very nice.
Yeah.
I should tell you a story. My wife's cousin, her younger cousin, was a model in New York City when she was younger. And when we went to her wedding, there was other models and stuff running around, but there was this one girl, and it's just like, who is that girl? She's wandering around. It's like, I kept saying to my wife, it's like, who is that girl right there? She's like, I don't know, but man, she looks wicked familiar. She was the stunt double for Angelina Jolie in that Tomb Raider movies.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was really cool, actually. She didn't talk to us at all, but it was still pretty cool. But yeah, no, I remember now that you're thinking about it. That was actually cool because she really genuinely looked like Angelina Jolie. Her hair was different, but it's just like, who is that girl? It's like, that's when her cousin said, no, she was the stunt double on both of those Tomb Raider movies. So
Sounds
that
like a
was kinda
song.
cool.
Who's that girl?
Who that girl? Who that?
Who that?
What piece have you sold or lost that you missed the most?
I don't think I have anything.
Oh, that's actually excellent.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, for real.
That's a great accomplishment, actually.
Like sometimes I want to sell something because I might need the money, but then I don't. So,
Yeah, because it always costs you more when you got to replace it. So
yeah.
we've
Yeah,
all
like
learned
Harley
that.
Quinn action figures.
Nice. So you keep your stuff mint in box, or you open it? What do you do?
I do both.
Do you? Yeah. I think everybody's kind of that way now, especially.
I bought a lot of loose ones from Total Nostalgia of
Yep.
my Lara Croft figures.
Yep.
And then some of them I still have in a box, or the original
Nice.
box.
Yeah. I mean, some of the packaging has gotten so great now, it's actually worth keeping a mint in box. Before, where packaging could be pretty iffy, but now I think a lot of people are both, a little bit of both, or buying duplicates when they can. Okay, it's question number 10. Are you
Okay.
ready? Are you
Sure.
sure? Are you ready?
Go for it.
I really want to know exactly what is the issue with your father.
Oh, we got time for that.
We ain't got time for that.
Limited time.
No, that's not the right question. That would be question 11.
You're trying to dig up suppressed memory.
Yeah, right.
We can't
Exactly.
afford that therapy. So we
Right.
afterwards.
Watch the pen. Right. Yes, here we go. Your dad has a real penchant for the horror stuff,
Yeah.
you know, with the Jason and everything else. Is that something you've inherited from him, you think?
Yep.
Yep.
Definitely.
I think
Because I love Ghostface.
well, that would be your generation, right? I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
So that would make sense.
He got me hooked on the Xenomorphs.
Well, that was our generation when Alien came out. That was a big deal when we were little kids. I mean, of course, you wouldn't even know, but when they made the original, 18-inch Xenoform, the alien figure that Kenner made, the whole world came to an end because they had made a toy based on an R-rated movie.
Yeah.
And, that's why those are so rare, actually, because they were yanked off toy shelves.
Mhm.
So whoever got one before they were pulled and destroyed, congratulations. But other than that, those were gone. I just find it interesting that sometimes things carry over and some things don't. None of my daughters have any real interest in much of anything that I'm interested in. My youngest daughter has some interest in older comics, but that's about it. My boys, one does and one doesn't, but that's kind of changing as he gets a little older too. So I think it's actually cool that you and your dad have that in common. I really do.
Yeah.
I think you should consider yourself fortunate that way because not every parent gets that. So congratulations to both of you on that.
His sister, her sister is the same way.
Yep. No,
Both-
that's a cool thing.
Both my girls are very dark humor.
Yeah.
horror fan thing. Even my granddaughter loves zombies. She just
Yeah.
That's all right.
Of course, when she
That's
was
all
little,
right.
she couldn't pronounce it. She'd started with a D. It'd be Dombies. But
Dombies. Dombies. That's actually a better name for them when you think of it. Very, very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. You did a great job. You were all nervous about it. You did a great job. Even though I'm being
Some of
a
the
bit of
questions
a...
are hard though.
Well, they are. I mean, they're not as bad as the original 10 Hut questions because those were horrible questions.
Should have been the first one.
All of these guys did the original 10 Hut. They remember that those original ones are terrible questions. Those were hard. They actually had to think.
Especially when you was the first one to do them.
Yeah, you were the very first one to do it, and then it turned into a competition as to who could stretch it out the longest.
John,
Oh, yoy.
John won that one.
John won that one by like 16
Oh.
minutes. Yeah, it was like 2.5 hours.
Yeah, I think Rick's was longer. If I
Maybe
remember,
Rick's was.
I believe.
Well,
his
Rick
was
and I kind of went off on a few other tangents here and there that were
Me,
Not
30
necessarily
and
toilet.
Dave.
about-
Oh well, you did a great job, Shockey. I appreciate it a lot.
Very good job.
Ask her about what never used to leave her side for 90% of her life. But
I
she
think
still
you-
has.
I think you just did. So if you want to answer that, you can. If you don't want to,
It's
I will
Bean
hold it again.
Baby Shark.
Really
Yeah.
nice.
A
I
what?
still have him. He's out in my Jeep.
It was a what? What
Huh?
was it again? What was it again? I didn't hear you say.
A Beanie Baby shark.
Yeah, Beanie Baby.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How old were you when I gave that to you, Code?
I think I was like 5.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was really little.
My youngest daughter they made the bigger Beanie Babies. You know, this thing was like 10 inches long. Her grandfather came to visit once and went to the grocery store, and there was a rack of them there, and he grabbed a pig and gave it to her. I think she was maybe 4 months old. She still has it. She still has it. It was Piggy. She carried Piggy with her everywhere for years and years, and she still has it. So
Well, you know, we've talked about sentimental stuff and the values
Yeah.
that it has of us and stuff. I gave her that, and I had, let's say, very tedious, strenuous visitation things for when
Yeah,
she was a kid. I think that replaced Daddy. She could
Yeah.
always have Daddy with her.
Yeah, I get that. I get that. I actually have a picture. I have a picture of a truck from 1976. Actually, it was a bicentennial year that my father bought for me because at one visit, we saw it. He bought it. I still treasure that thing to this day. I mean, my dad is 92, and actually, we just had a big scare with him over this weekend. And it's sentimental stuff, you know. If you can have something like that, congratulations, because there's a lot of people that don't.
Mhm.
You know, so that's something to be actually cherished, even though somebody might think it's foolish or whatever without knowing the story. Whatever.
But I think
you know?
it started my shark collection.
Yeah, sounds like it probably did. Yeah,
I have
made a real
lot of-
impression on you.
She has lots of sharks. Lots.
Yep. You ever seen a great white shark in real in
Nuh-uh.
person?
I think they were sand tiger sharks in like the Tennessee Aquarium.
Yep.
But I ain't actually seen one in like the ocean.
Yeah, we saw one once over the side of a whale watching ship in Maine, and they're cold water. The big ones in the really cold water, and this thing was immense. It's just like, man, you really wouldn't want to mess with that because it's
I've
just
only seen dolphins in the wild.
yeah. Well, those are cool too, but no, this thing was 12, 13 feet. Its head was as big around as a 50-gallon drum. It was, you know, if it had you, you're pretty much so done. And all it seemed to be interested in is eating, swimming and eating. That's all it really does. So
She'd be okay with that. When she watches Shark Attack, she roots for the shark. So she does. She's like, what do you always say when people get Shark Attack?
Shouldn't be in the water.
well, that's true. I mean, that'll take care of it, right? Unless it's Sharknado. When
Don't they hear the theme song, the Jaws theme song, when they go in the water?
Yep.
Shark,
Yep.
yeah, Sharknado would be rough. Yeah. That's
It
so
was funny because I lived in Rockland, Maine as a kid, and I remember it was right on the ocean, and I remember that none of the big stars were there, but when they were filming the original Jaws, there was film crews in and out of town because they were going out on the boats and taking stock footage out in the deeper ocean. For whatever reason, they couldn't do it in New Jersey because there was too many ships around. So they were taking some of the stock photos off the coast of Maine. And I remember what a big deal that was in a little tiny coastal town that, you know, Hollywood has come to Maine, and they couldn't even say the name of the movie because it wasn't made yet. But I do remember that people were yelling in the theaters, I know where that is, or that's Vinyl Haven, which is one of the islands off the coast and stuff. It was kind of funny, actually. But so, yeah, there's my history rant for you. Not that there's anything to do with anything. Did a great job. Where'd your father go?
I don't know. Where'd you go?
He don't know.
You'll recognize that couch.
He's going to sneak up behind her or something, isn't he?
So how did you get the nickname Sharky?
Well, I kind of wanted to be called Sharky.
Well, there you go.
My grandma, she calls me Sharky.
Oh, cool.
I get called Wednesday at work, though.
Oh, okay.
Y'all would have to see how she's always usually in black. You'd have to see her Jeep. It's got skulls and ghost face on it. And if you've ever seen what's that?
And a hand on the
Her tag says "Be eating you," and so from what movie was that?
Jeepers
Creepers.
Yeah.
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 She had a tag made to match that tag perfectly. So
Nice.
and she, like I said, I don't know where. I think she gets that from her mother. I don't know. So yeah.
No, I get it from my daddy.
There you go.
I blame you.
Yeah.
I couldn't be
Awesome.
more proud, so I'll take blame.
There you go. Well, that's a great thing. It actually is.
It
All
is good
kidding
to
aside,
share
that's
that
great.
together, though. It really is.
Yep.
Because me and my son, we don't have anything in common that's collecting stuff
Yeah.
at all.
That's
Well,
a great thing.
I'm about that way with my son.
Right.
My son is very different than my daughters.
Right.
You know, he's in a whole different other stuff. The only traits of me that he got were some that he probably shouldn't have. So yeah.
Well, yeah, that kind of happens too. Kind of comes with the territory, I guess.
Yeah.
Nice. You
Well-
did a great job. You really did.
See, it didn't take long. Told you it wouldn't take long.
Oh, no.
You want to
So
hang
we're-
out with us? Or you ready to get
Yeah.
going?
No, I probably need to go.
All right, well,
'Cause I got work tomorrow.
go ahead and excuse yourself.
Thank you much. Hey, can we have you back on Shark Week? I think that'd actually be funny.
Sure.
I think that'd be funny. We'll keep
You
an
can
eye
show
out
off
for
some of
that.
your shark toys.
Yeah, exactly. I'll have 10 more questions for you or something. How's that?
Got sharks though.
What about
I can
sharks?
ask you shark questions. That'd be kind of fun, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we
She's
can
read
do
enough
that.
books, so it'd be nice to
Yeah.
stump her. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll come up with something off Google that sounds remotely intelligent, but really isn't. So. Very good. Thank you, young lady. It was an actual pleasure to have you here. You did a great job.
You're welcome.
Thanks much.
Yeah.
You did a good job with that one, Rick. You did a good job. Congratulations.
she's a pretty good chick.
I think you did good.
I saw her severed hand on the dash today. When I come by.
Nice.
People eyeball her Jeep everywhere. They're like, "Oh my God, who would drive that?" And she gets out and they go, "It kind of figures." They don't call her Wednesday for nothing. And
Yeah,
my
there you
daughter,
go.
I think she's 5'10", so she's not short either. So
Yeah.
my daughter's got some height.
Yeah, I saw a picture of you standing next to it. It's a tall girl. Yeah.
So
Cool. Hey, what do you think, John? Are you ready?
Maybe. It's,
Okay.
It's pollen's killing me.
Is it? Yeah.
I know the feeling, man.
Let me get a drink and I'll get started.
All right. Just look at a jug of water.
doop, doop, doop.
That's water, right?
Yeah.
It's not potato water. That's
It's
Russian
almost
potato
empty
water.
too.
Potato
I
water.
just
Yeah, they
grabbed
make
the
it
first
Russian.
drink out of the refrigerator.
It's that Russian potato water. That's what.
I'm gonna try my light this week. Let's see.
Hey, look at that. That's actually pretty good.
Is it?
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, we'll see how well it works.
Nice.
Okay. So we're gonna talk Duke this week, correct?
Yes.
I didn't do any background reading on it, and I didn't think about Dave doing the Tin Hut. So I was thinking that you were going to be doing the background history, so I didn't bother looking at the background history. But we can get to that some other time, I guess. So anyway, vintage Duke. Duke, of course, started out as a mail-in figure, and what was it, 83, and he didn't really go out on the retail on the card until 84. Of course, a highly recognizable figure from the G.I. Joe vintage era
Oh, big time.
is Duke, obviously, and I believe that I didn't, variation wise, I think later on there were some that had the sleeves more rolled up. It was a later on variant. If I remember right, like I said, I didn't do my research on that part of it like I should have, and it's been a rough couple of weeks.
Yeah, I hear you, buddy. It's all good.
So anyway, I do have now the Duke come with so his Melloway file card had like a close up of his face, whereas the one with the card that come out was more a little zoomed out, I guess you'd say.
I never
You
noticed
can
that
kind of
before.
see his binoculars there on it. So
Yeah.
Huh.
the difference in the card, of course, the Melloway was brown because when they first started out, they were brown before they got into what they called the redback. So there's the kind of the difference in the
Cool.
this camera's on. I forget this camera's backwards. So there's your difference in the look of the file cards. Okay. And I'm not going to read the file cards on all these. I'm just going to go over the first one since it's the most important one after all, right?
Yes.
So, codename Duke. He's first sergeant, Conrad S. Hauser. His primary military specialty is airborne infantry. His secondary military specialty is artillery, small arms armor. And he's from St. Louis, Missouri. He's a grade E8 master sergeant. Duke was fluent in French, German, and English when he enlisted in 1967. I hope he was fluent in English since he was from Missouri. I noticed that was the third language, so he probably spoke French and German better. I don't know. So anyway, Graduated top of his class at Airborne School, Fort Benning. I'm familiar with where Fort Benning is. I've been by there many a times. Opted for U.S. Army Special Language School, specialized in Han Chinese and Southeast Asian dialects. I didn't know there was such a thing as a Han Chinese. I thought it was either Mandarin or Cantonese. So,
Yeah.
Went Special Forces in 1969. Worked with, and it's odd because they put dates on here. Most of the file cards don't have dates, and I've never really thought about that. Where to get to? Work with tribesmen in the boonies of South Vietnam. Ran 4 different Special Forces schools. Turned down a commission in 1971. Commands by winning respect. Current assignment, acting first sergeant, G.I. Joe team. Statement after declining commission. They tell me that an officer's job is to impel others to take the risks so that the officer survives to take the blame in the event of total catastrophe. With all due respect, sir, if that's what an officer does, I don't want any part of it. Okay. So that was Duke's original file card. Yeah, and I never really thought about that it's mentions dates on there. Usually you don't see that. That's
No, not at all.
And it's been years since I've read some of these file cards.
Sure, yeah.
So that was the very first Duke, and then we didn't see another Duke until, let me pull my date list up here, so I can remember. After about 87, it gets fuzzy from there on the vintage stuff. So I think Tiger Force was about 88, I believe. Yeah, 1988. So then you had the Tiger Force Duke, which I think we're all pretty familiar with it. Even got one in the classifieds already. So, you got Tiger Force Duke. That was the second Duke. The third Duke didn't come around until 1992.
Wow.
That was this one. Kind of with a red camo pattern, really kind of interesting colors there.
Yeah.
Okay. And in 93, it kind of went back more to a military look, more like a desert camo. That was in 93. Okay. And then one of the more interesting ones from the Armor Tech, I believe it was. You had the big bulky Duke with a helmet there, It's pretty interesting because that looks like, if you can tell, it looks like almost like the original mold.
Wow.
That they just kind of stuck the original mold
Yeah,
on there. If you can really tell or not, you might can see it there.
Yeah. What year was that, John?
This was in 93 also.
Huh.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah.
Man, that light really works pretty well, don't it?
Yeah.
Should have had that a long time ago. Okay. All right. And then one more from the original 92 or 82 to 94. And this was, I think, also part of the, I can't remember if it was Battle Corps or Star. I think this was part of Star Brigade. I don't have his accessories because he had a helmet that flipped down over on him there. But this was the one from 94, the last year of the, what most people count vintage.
Right.
Now, obviously, I'm going to go all the way up through 2001. So, to me, those Toys R Us sets from 97, 98, and the 2000, 2001 collector series kind of are, well, they're technically vintage now. They're over 20 years old, right?
Oh, yeah, big time.
But I don't know. That was kind of interesting. It's more like Armor. That would have actually made a good flash or slam. With the padding on the legs and the chest. I thought so.
Oh no, I agree. It's exactly what it reminded me of when you pulled it up.
Right. So in 97, when Toys R Us got the done the run of exclusive sets there, they put a Duke out that actually come with a Silver Mirage motorcycle, and it's basically the original mold, just in a different color scheme. Kind of interesting. I kind of like the kind of more of an olive color shirt.
Yeah.
And the camo type pattern there. It's,
cool.
Kind of neat. The red boots might be a little out of place.
Yeah.
Except with probably black boots, maybe, but
Yeah.
I think black boots probably would have fit better on it. But and then in 2000, when they did the collector set, and they went back to a more military themed base, and Duke even got him a tattoo this time around.
Oh, there you go. Goes with his brown hair.
Remember the one? Remember the one that was tan and had the red camouflage and stuff? Was that the same body mode?
Yes, I believe it is.
Same thing.
Yeah, it is. It is the same mode.
Okay.
Mhm.
That camera is. That camera keeps moving on me. Yeah. Yeah, it is. I mean, it is all the way down to the. Yeah, it's the exact same mode. Sure is.
Well,
Right.
Nice to know that they are resourceful and reuse things and just
Yeah.
instead of throwing it away.
As well, you repaint. No.
And repaint.
So anyway, that's the Dukes. There's what 2, 4, 6, 8 of them between 1982 and 2001. Now that Duke, actually, of course, there were 2 packs. He come with Sidetrack, which was basically Ambush, a repaint of Ambush, same accessories and everything. And actually, if you take all the accessories that come with the original Ambush, Duke really only come with a helmet.
Yeah.
Even though most people count the gun as Duke's, but actually that was the same gun that come with the original Ambush along with all the gear.
wow.
So really, that Duke really you just got a helmet with him, and all the rest of it really goes to some Sidetrack.
Well, that's because Duke's so bad. He don't need a gun.
He don't need to go.
Yeah, that's right.
He just Dukes it out, right?
Yeah,
That's right.
Duke's guy. Exactly.
He dukes it out.
I often wondered if Larry Hama was a John Wayne fan since he named him Duke. I don't know.
I don't know. It is strange.
I wanted to look that up, and I just never got around to it this week. But I wondered about that because that's the first thing I think of when I hear Duke.
It's probably where it came from.
I figure it probably is.
Yeah, it did, probably.
So anyway, that's Duke in a nutshell, I guess you'd say. So what have I got? Oh yeah, I've what I figured about 10 minutes. So since it was National Women's Day Thursday, and I guess the whole month's what'd you call it?
It's National Women's Month.
Women's History Month.
History Month, Women's History Month. Okay, I thought real quick I would go through the female GI Joes and Cobras.
Cool.
And a lot more of them than I realized. Would you care to take a guess at how many GI Joe female figures there are? And that includes. I also included October Guard in with that, but. And
Individual figures or characters?
And this is based on individual characters that actually have action figures. Because I know in the comics there's some other female characters, but I only went with just the ones that actually had action figures made of them.
I'll go 12.
You're close.
I was thinking about 9.
You're colder.
It's more than 12.
13.
More than 12. unless I miss somebody, there as of 2016 there were 18.
18.
Yeah. And now take a guess on Cobras.
But we don't have no female representation in Georgia. Oh, I'm sorry, no politics.
Right, yeah.
Excuse me.
I will say the majority. There were only 5 up until 2000. I will say that. So
Yeah,
there has
that
been a
makes
big.
sense,
In Cobra as well. There's actually 14 in Cobra.
Wow.
So
I never would have guessed that.
Not at all.
Yeah.
I would have been
I was
around
thinking
5 or 6, maybe.
okay. So what I did?
Were they toys of all these?
Yes, and actually, so what I did, I gathered up what I had. There's a couple I don't have, and actually, all of them are represented in the 25th style except for one. So what I've done, I tried to take the best figure out of all of them, which is usually the 25th style. If you go back to the look and all, so and I really thought they'd done a good job on that Scarlet they put out a couple.
I like her. Yeah.
I thought that was. I know it feels like it's a little cheaper plastic, but hopefully it's that'll last longer. So obviously, Scarlet was number 1 back in 1982. She was one of the founding members of the G.I. Joe team, probably the most popular out of the female characters. she's Snake Eyes' girlfriend, Duke's girlfriend. She's got the fellers following her around. So
She's like that cop in Memphis.
Oh, jeez. Oh no, boo.
I'm sorry I had to go there.
Okay, so now there's been several different figures of Scarlet made over the years. Quite a few. To me, I think this is, of course, nothing beats vintage, right? But I think this was a really good rendition that they did, and it's very much like the original. The second female figure to join the G.I. Joe team come a year later, 1983, and drove the Wolverine, and that was CoverGirl.
Yep.
Okay. And this is her 25th anniversary style figure that was part of the Figure Subscription Club.
Her body shape's that of, I think McFarlane did it.
Maybe.
McFarlane did it.
McFarlane. Yeah, that looks like a McFarlane figure.
McFarlane.
Long arms, long legs, little torso, and then no neck on the head sitting up there.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
McFarlane. Yep.
The next female character come in 1985, 2 years later. Anybody want to take a guess?
Lady J.
There you go, Lady J. Yep. And this was the 50th anniversary that Toys R Us put out a few years ago. She come with a Baroness. As a matter of fact, it was a 2-pack.
Cool.
Scarlett's a popular figure, but I think everybody almost had a crush on Lady J.
Oh yeah.
I think it was the voice.
Yeah, I don't know. She just, her attitude was a little bit equaled out.
It was a hat. That's what it is.
It
was a hat. Yeah. It was a hat, definitely.
She's the only one that really wore a hat, right?
Yeah, actually.
The rest of them, had long hair, ponytails. She had short hair and a hat.
Yeah. But she never did on cartoons, though.
No, she didn't wear a hat in the cartoons.
And she was actually an adorable character in the cartoons. So, I mean,
Another one of my favorites, 1987, and she premiered in the movie, and of course that's Jinx.
Jinx.
And I really hope we get a vintage style Jinx like this in the classified with a second head with the short black hair like from the movie.
Yeah,
I think that would really be a really cool figure.
Yeah, I think so too.
But so Jinx is another pretty popular one. Okay.
Can't believe they didn't have Jinx in the Snake Eyes movie. That would have just made sense.
Well, they
it would have.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people said that Akiko, which I didn't count Akiko when I counted at 18, because technically she wasn't a member of G.I. Joe. She was just kind of there. I don't know. She was but a lot of people said that she was supposed to be Jinx, but I don't know. But I mean, she was in the Retaliation, So they did bring her in the second movie, but just
that is true. She was, yeah.
Then next come the next one was come out in the Toys R Us in 98, part of the October Guard, and oddly enough, it wasn't Deanna, it was Volga, was her name.
Oh,
that's odd.
And I take that back. They did not do her in the 25th style, so there's two that they hadn't done in the 25th style. I forgot about her. So.
Huh. I never.
But she was basically just a repaint of Lady J with just a kind of a more of a camouflage type pattern, and she had kind of more red hair.
Huh.
She had the hat, so
they got the hat. Yeah.
Yeah. She got to be cool like the Americans. She got her hat. So. Okay. Then in 2000 came. And we kind of talked about her a couple of weeks ago. Baroness's sister that kind of replaced her for a short time, codenamed Chameleon.
Yeah.
So technically, she was working for the G.I. Joe team as a double agent, but she looked like the Baroness because she'd had the plastic surgery to make herself look like her half sister. And I really wish they'd expand on that, in the stories, maybe in the comics or something, because she never really. I mean, as far as I know, that just the toy was the only time she was ever even mentioned from that 2000 series. They never did her in the, and she was never featured in the comics or anything. But I thought that was kind of neat, kind of would have been an interesting storyline if they'd have done something like that,
Yeah.
So you had Chameleon. Technically, she is a different character. So. Mm-hmm. Then in, let's see, what was it? 2005. And then again, this is the 25th style that come out later. But they did do it in the Valor versus Venom line. They did a Bum Stripe, and this is the figure subscription service version of her, which is real close to the Valor versus Venom. She was the sister of Blackout and Barrel Roll. And I don't know if you guys remember, if you were really into that, but Barrel Roll was a G.I. Joe member. Blackout was a Cobra sniper. So they kind of went, one brother went to the Joes, one went to the Cobra, and then, of course, the sister come in, and she joined the Joe team. And I think in the comics, it was a kind of a part of the storyline where they were trying to get their brother to come back from the dark side, and bring him back. But I thought she was a pretty cool character.
Cool.
Pretty neat. All right. That was, what was that, 2005? Then finally, also in 2005, in a convention set, or no, I take that back, not in a convention set. They actually did a comic 3-pack with the October Guard, and they brought Deanna in. But this one actually was from the, I think, 2012 convention set. But they did an O-ring version of her first in 2005. And it was a comic 3-pack. I think it had her and I can't remember if it was well, the cat's in here now. she's ready to get on TV. My mind's going blank. Colonel Breckoff, and what was the other one? The General. Wasn't Red Star. I can't remember his name now. I think those were the three that were in the 3-pack. They were based off the 3-pack coming with a Marvel Comics number 7 or number 8. Because that's when they introduced October Guard in the comics early on.
I remember saying that.
Yeah. So she's a pretty cool character for October Guard. So actually, technically, they got 2. Deanna's the only one ever showed in the cartoons or the comics, though. Which is, I don't know if maybe there was a reason why they didn't pick her instead of Olga when they first done the one in 97. Maybe it was some copywriting thing. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
So anyway, you had Deanna. And actually, you know what? I got these out of order. This one should have been the very first one I showed because technically she come before all of them. And that was G.I. Jane.
G.I. Jane, there you go.
And they actually did a O-ring version of her later on in the Valor versus Venom, or I think it was in one of the direct-to-customer 6-packs with her and G.I. Joe. And then they done this one later on, which I think they should have left the lab coat off or redesigned it for a smaller figure because basically I think this was the one that was I want to say this might have been the one that was for the Cobra Commander from the movie.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember, but they kind of put it on there and it's too bulky for her. But
looks like Helix's head, just repainted.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I think pretty much it is.
And she's supposed to be bald anyways. G.I. Jane bald.
Yeah, that was Demi Moore.
Wrong
That was a different G.I. Jane.
Keep my wife's name.
But
Don't slapping nobody, Dave.
Speaking of which,
does that.
the out of the original vintage 12-inch G.I. Joes, she is by far the most expensive.
Oh,
if
big
you can
time,
find her mint in a box, you're talking several grand.
Because
she was a nurse, right?
Right.
Originally, it was a nurse figure, right?
And there were very few of them made because kids didn't want to play.
Didn't buy them. Right.
That was more like a doll, because it was a girl. It was like a Barbie. Sure. And so that's why there were very few of them made. But if you can find one mint in a box now, you can pretty much name your price. Yeah. I mean, it's a very, very. Yeah, I should have put her first. I didn't think about that, but technically she come even before Scarlet. The next one, 2007, and the Tanks for the Memories convention in Atlanta, Georgia, they did her in an O-ring, and then later on the club did her in a figure subscription service, and that's Doc, and she is the niece of the original Doc. Yeah. So at least they kind of kept it in the family, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like the next generation of medics in the G.I. Joe team, and she's following in her uncle's footsteps. So then you had Doc in 2007. 2009, and this kind of come from the comic, I think, because there was, I know in the IDW comic, or not the IDW, but the Devil's Due, when they first picked the run up, they had a female dial tone.
Yep.
And she was no relation to the original dial tone, if I remember correctly. But they kind of put these out amongst all the movie figures that come out around 2009. She was in a 5-pack with some other desert camo theme. I know Repeater and I can't remember. I think maybe Law and Order and a couple others were in that 5-pack. They were all decking the brown camo like that. So you had a dial tone. This one was also a based off of the international figure, I believe, and they put her out in the 2010 convention. She come with the kayak that Stalker come with, and it's her name's Agent Natalie Poole, and it was that. I mean, I'm not sure about I think the legs and the lower body and all looks like Lady J.
And the top looks like Road Pig.
I was going to say, is that the same old from Refrigerator Perry?
The head's from the Street
it's
Fighter.
kind of odd because they definitely the upper torso was definitely a new mold.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
And it surprised me they done a new mold for a convention figure where the rest of them were repaints. So that kind of surprised me. The arms, I'm sure, is probably from. They may also be. I don't know. Lady J had sleeves, so I'm not sure who the arms are from.
Gung-ho.
And then, of course, the head's a different one.
They look like Gung Ho's arms.
They very well could be. Did he have? He didn't have gloves, though, did he? Now Roadblock had. I think Roadblock.
Yeah, Roadblock maybe.
It may be Roadblocks. Yeah. Okay.
I think they get that head from the Street Fighter chick from Street Fighter.
It does kind of look like it. Looks like she's got the kind of the Rambo thing going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was an interesting character. The next one, and like I said, I didn't count Action Force or those foreign figures, but they did put them out for in the U.S. for these conventions and for these other sets. So they did do in 2013. In the figure subscription service, they did a Quarrel, which was based off you can see she's got the Action Team logo. And back in the 80s, it was just a repaint of Scarlet.
Right.
And they did do a Scarlet that was come with a flight helmet. If you remember in the, I think around 2008, the second year that they were doing the 25th style, where she was silver and blue, which was technically supposed to have been Glinda, which was another foreign repaint of Scarlet. But they never called her Glinda. They still called her Scarlet. But this one, they actually named her Quarrel. Based off the one from the Action Force. So we got a U.S. version of Quarrel, basically. Nice. Now, like I said, if you want to count Glinda, that would make another member. But I didn't count her since there's not been an actual U.S. release of that figure. Even though, like I said, technically you could say that Scarlet was one. The next one was also in 2013, another convention figure, a new character called Freestyle. And she came, I can't remember what she come with, but they also done a Steeler with a flak. They were they weren't part of the 15 figure set. They were like extra figures if you attended. So you got her and you got Steeler with a flak. And I think I can't remember if she come with anything or if she was just packed with Steeler and the flak. I don't know. I didn't make that convention. I got this one later on the secondary market, unfortunately. But actually, I got a good price on it. So.
Cool.
And I mainly got it because I wanted the Steeler,
Was her MOS a rapper or something? I mean, freestyle? She freestyle?
Maybe so. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think her file card had something to do with is it maybe surfing or something? I can't remember now. I'd have to go back and look it up. I read it once upon a time, but it's been some time ago. And I don't even remember where she was from. I think she was, I think maybe she was from California. Maybe that's where I'm getting the surfing part. I don't know.
No, maybe.
Okay, so that was let's see. Actually, I'm sorry, I skipped one. Actually, in 2011, we got Sparta. She was also part of the convention set, and she was a G.I. Joe secret agent. I do not have that figure, unfortunately, and she goes for a couple of $100 if you can find her, because she was a convention set. But this is what she looks like.
You got to say, this is Sparta.
This is Sparta. This is Sparta.
This is Sparta. Yeah.
So thanks to yojo.com, I got a picture of her anyway.
Nice.
That's Sparta. She comes.
She's
from,
so secret that we don't even know who she is.
Yeah, she come with a. They done the Special Mission Brazil set with Lieutenant Thor and those, and she was a 6th member of that team.
Okay.
And unfortunately, I didn't. Like I said, I didn't make it. I didn't start really making it to the conventions until 2014. So I missed out on that one. Now the next one was in 2014, and it was part of the G.I. Joe Transformers line. Well, actually, I take it back. I skipped Agent Helix. I did skip Helix because I think she come out in 2009. And yeah, you're right. I mean, that's who was we looking at?
Yeah, I think he's right too.
Oh yeah, G.I. Jane. Yeah, definitely the same head.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's all right.
So Agent Helix, which is also due out in the classified pretty soon. She is kind of an interesting character. So
She's a very interesting character.
we'll see. We'll see what they do with the figure. If they make it look more like this, I don't know. Who knows what they'll kind of do with it. But
Yeah, I hope they don't mess it up.
Yeah, me too. You can't ever tell, right?
No.
I think they're starting to stick more to the classic looks, which I guess you could say this was classic. It's really her
Oh,
only.
it is. It is now.
So,
yeah.
But I think this was her look in the comics too. So.
It is. Yeah, it's very close.
Okay. Yeah, I left her off the list completely. So actually, there's 19 females G.I. Joes. But the next one was a Transformers. Actually, the G.I. Joe Transformers crossover. She come with RC the motorcycle. Marissa Fairborn, which was supposed to be the daughter of Flint and Lady J.
Oh.
Wow.
So that was kind of interesting. It was more futuristic, like I said. She come with it was one of the motorcycles from the 2000-ish, waves that was painted up a little like RC. It was pink and white, I believe.
Wow.
I don't have the motorcycle, but I don't know. I may have the motorcycle somewhere. I can't remember. I mainly just got it because it was a G.I. Joe figure.
Sure, right.
So. All right. I don't need your help. I got it good now.
John grew a tail.
Yeah. All right. So how am I doing on time? Oh, I gotta hurry. Okay. The next one come out in 2015, and it was based off the comic book. There was a 14th Joe on the computer screens.
Yeah, I was wondering if you had her.
Yeah, and that's Shooter.
Shooter, yeah.
So you couldn't tell if it was a boy, girl, or whatever because you couldn't really see. All you could see was the name. So they chose to make it a female. So technically, there was a second female.
Right.
Scarlet and Shooter were technically the first two female members of the Joe team, if you don't count G.I. Jane, obviously.
Right.
So there you had Shooter. She come with a rifle and a case, like a sharpshooter, and it was pretty cool. And
is her hair in a bun?
It is. It's kind of been a
cool. I've never seen one. I just learned about this figure not too long ago.
Yeah.
Is her last name McGavin?
I do not know.
McGavin.
I'd have to pull
her dad would be from the Billy Madison movie.
Oh, okay.
Gilmore movie.
There you go.
You know what? I left another off. Actually, there's Tweenie because I found another one I left off, but I can't even remember where she come from. Before I get to that one, anyhow, 2016 they done another character, which was kind of a repaint of Helix with a different head, and her name was Stiletto. Yeah, and that was from the Figure Club. She got the long pony, braided
white black pony. Was she a Joe?
She was a Joe. Yes.
Oh, I've seen that figure. I always thought she was a Dreadnought. She looked like a Dreadnought.
She does kind of look like a Dreadnought. Yeah. And then I left this one off my list. I don't know how, and I must have missed it. I can't remember what year she come out, but this was it was in the last couple of years because she was part of the figure subscription service too. And I'm not sure if she was October Guard or something else, but her name I believe was Verona.
Bologna.
Verona with a B.
My Bologna.
I don't eat Verona.
Yeah. So
I said bologna. I'm like, what?
said she's got some kind of like a bird or something on her logo on her chest there.
Ah.
I don't know if you can really see it that well. It's another interesting character. So that does it for the Joes. I know I gotta get you're gonna have to go now. All right, go back in yonder. Chew. Okay, real quick. So Cobra. Obviously the first Cobra, the Baroness. And this is also the one that come out here just a couple years ago, when they rebooted at Walmart,
right.
Which I thought was really well made. They did a little better on her head sculpt. Some of the other ones, her face was too pale, and her head was a little big for some of the other ones. But I thought they got this one portioned pretty well with her body. So, so you got the Baroness. The second female figure, of course, 1986, was Zorana.
Yep.
I'm so jealous again.
And I didn't even realize that on the 25th style one, they actually made her mohawk a different color. It's more of a blonde color.
Oh yeah.
I so missed getting that figure, and then when I got ready to get it later, I'm like, I'm not paying that price.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't have the Cold Slither one. I wished I could have got it. That's the one that's really going for a lot of money.
Right.
Then in 1998, with the Stinger Jeep that Toys R Us put out, they put out a new female character called Vipra. And then later on, they made Vipra a part of the Ninja Force or the Cobra Ninja Squad or whatever, because they actually done some other Vipra figures later on too. And this is a 25th style version, so it was sort of like a Ninja Viper, but it was a female version called Vipra. Then in 2007, I'm gonna have to get just a drink of water. 2007, the Tanks for the Memories convention set saw a lot of female characters in the Cobra side. They were called Night Stalkers, and I would show you the Night Stalker, but I got my camera sitting on the box that it's in, so and I couldn't find my 25th style version. They did later on, like the last in 2018, they put out a 3-pack of the Night Stalker characters. But I will show you my custom one I did back several years ago. So basically, that was kind of what they look like, black with the red highlights.
Cool.
And, that was my own custom one there. But then they did put out the Cobra Officer as well in the figure subscription club, and she basically had a silver instead of red insignia. So that's the Night Stalker Commander. The direct to customer, when Hasbro was doing direct to customer, they put out one called Manitia, which later on they put out in the figure subscription service as well, and that's her 25th style version. And she got some weird goggles like they're I don't know if you can see it there.
I think she's blind.
Yeah. So one of them, it kind of reminds me of
Venetia
Metalhead.
blind.
You know, Metalhead with the glasses he had. You know how one of them had the crosshair on it?
Yeah.
And so that's Manitia. Then in 2011, we got Zartan's daughter Zanya, which was basically a repaint of Zorana.
Yeah.
The different head sculpt. She had kind of green highlights with I don't know what kind of hairdo that is. I mean, it's dreadlocks, but she got antennas there or something. I don't know. It's, not sure exactly what that is. Pretty cool though. She does have the Zartan insignia. I don't know if you can see the way my light went off. What happened here? It may went dead. There you go.
Oh, that's cool.
So it looks like his cowl with his eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got a female Cobra officer in the 25th style, and they also done Cobra troops, which I got one of the troops right here. These were a 3-pack. You got troops in a 3-pack, and this was part of the figure subscription service. And which I didn't realize she's not wearing a mask.
No.
I just now noticed that. So I guess you don't care if people knows who she is or not. So
Well, she was pre-COVID.
I guess
That's right. Pre Fauci.
yeah.
Before Fauci and Mindbender were doing their thing.
2016. So in 2016, the Collectors Club did a figure that everybody wanted for a long time that never got made back in 1987, and that was, of course, Pythona
Yeah.
with her weird hairdo. And I actually I hadn't done anything with it yet. I bought the, what's her name? Aura Singh, the bounty hunter from the Black Series, Star Wars Black
Aura
Series.
Singh, yeah.
And I was going to just trim off the little antenna because that's basically,
Yeah.
I mean, that's it.
That's Aura
I've
Singh,
seen
yeah.
people making a lot of customs with that figure.
Yeah. You could definitely make a Pythona with her. But
Oh,
there,
yeah.
I mean, you can see that she's got the purple, bubbly looking design on her. Yeah, and all that too. So that,
I think a deluxe with the big round thing, Globulus, with all them. That would be, I think, a sellable HasLab.
I do too. Yeah.
Nemesis Enforcer, big wing spread. I mean,
Yeah.
The next one was also it was a convention exclusive. That I really, well, actually, it came out in 2013. I skipped it. And also, well, gosh, I skipped two of them. 2015, they actually had an Undertow officer that was a female, and I've got it, but I could not find it in time to get it on here. But it was they actually called her an Undertow officer. The convention set come with her and then like 3 or 4 Undertow characters from the 25th style. But prior to that, in 2013, that convention set come with one of the ones that I'm hoping that they'll do in a classified, and that's Crimson Asp, because I just think she's just really a cool figure. And any figure with a patch on their eye is cool.
Yeah, there
I
you
mean,
go.
that's just coolness. I mean, I used to think, you know, back in the day with Marvel Comics, you had the Nick Fury, who looked like Mr. Fantastic, but he had a patch, so he's like
Right.
the cooler. He was like the cooler version of Mr. Fantastic
Right.
because he had the patch
Yeah,
on his eye.
exactly.
well, until the Hawks played them.
But I would love to see that in the classified. I think that would be a cool figure. Well, actually, in 2017, they did in a figure subscription service. They did another patched character for Cobra called Steel Raven, and she was part of the SCAR, SKAR, which I think was from G.I. Joe Extreme.
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
Good looking figure.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
So it'd been rare. That would be cool too to see in the 25th.
it'd be a nightmare for me as a toy photographer, but I mean, because it's basically a traffic cone for a bottom there, but
Right. Yeah, exactly.
it's a good looking figure though.
And then last but not least, with the Dreadnought, when they redid the Dreadnought ground assault vamp or stinger, they put a new Dreadnought in there called Heart Wrencher. So yet another member of the Dreadnoughts, and she was like a mechanic. You can see she's got the coveralls, and they're kind of, she's got them hanging down around her waist.
Yep.
Like that. And of course, tops just a repaint of Zorana again. So I guess that must be the fashion for Dreadnoughts.
I guess, yeah.
They like the half shirt with the strap and the shoulder pads, I guess.
Yeah, they all look like Pat Benatar from 1981.
Yeah.
Because it's hot in that swamp.
That's right.
Exactly.
So there you are, in honor of National Women's Month or Women's History. Quite a few. I mean, like I said, the last several years they really loaded up the Joes and Cobras with female figures, and
Nice.
and of course we know we have some coming with classifieds. The Steel Brigade, we're getting a female Steel Brigade. We're getting some female troopers. That's Hasbro Pulse exclusive. So got those coming. So pretty interesting stuff, and a lot of these I'd like to see in the classified. I think they'd make real great figures, and hopefully they're a little better. Their arms don't pop off like CoverGirl. But
Or Savannah.
oh, I did forget one more. I forgot Dr. Biggles Jones. They did her in this Ninja Force Transformers set with the Ninja Force Scarlet. But you have her with and again, she's got the big bulky lab coat, which I really wish they'd redesign that for the female figures. It would have looked a lot better, but and my light went off. I guess my battery must be going dead in it. But there you can see a little bit better. So, so she wasn't really Cobra. She was just Cobra was willing to fund her research, and she was one of them that would like, well, if you funded me, I'll work for you.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
She didn't care who was, as long as she was getting a paycheck to fund her research, she didn't care who was, were they good, bad, or what. So,
right. Yeah.
So anyway, there you have it.
That's a good job, John. That's a lot of work right there.
I put all that together in about an hour.
No, thank you for showing that shooter figure though, because I like I said, I just learned about her recently, and I've kind of been interested because I remember as a kid getting that first comic, and you literally see a little tiny bit of dark hair and the name Shooter, underneath the file that's supposed to be a computer file, and then that was it. That character was never mentioned again at all. That was interesting to me.
Yeah, I got it confused because on one of the early miniseries on the cartoon, they did the same thing, but it was a character called Sparks on the cartoon.
I seem to remember that too.
Yeah. And they actually did a Sparks. He was kind of in tan, like a tan uniform, sort of like the Falcon Glider Grunt or the Clutch from the Mark II.
Right.
And they did him in the tanks for the memory set from the Atlanta convention.
Oh, cool.
So you got him. I wish they would have done him in the 25th style. That's the only thing.
Huh. Very cool. Thank you, John.
Some interesting stuff.
Absolutely.
And I'm surprised my voice made it. You can tell it's starting to crack up on me. It's calling this murder on me.
It is brutal, isn't it? Yeah.
It is.
What do you think, Shane? What you got?
Yeah, I'm just got a few Dukes I want to look at tonight.
Cool.
After, like John said, before the 2000s, there wasn't many, but after the 2000s, it was like 2 or 3 every year they released in the series.
Sure.
So, I mean, it was a lot to cover. I believe he was number 3 or 4 on the list of most figures by character. So, I mean, he's got a lot of figures also.
Yeah.
But I was going to start with this classified that we got. Maybe everyone can see that pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's got a glare on it. Could you take it out of the box so we can see it better?
like this one. But these are kind of being a hot item right now.
I got to get one of those actually.
People are selling these for $65 and $75 now.
Yeah.
Because nobody really wanted it at first.
Yeah.
Now they're realizing it is a nice figure. Other than the gun, kind of like a Nerf gun, but it is a really nice figure. Duke is, he's an iconic character. Everybody knows Duke's iconic. And this was number 4 in the classified release. And like I said, everybody in the repaint, all they really done was just painted the shin guards. That's all they really done with it. And but both of them are people are looking for them hard right now.
Yeah.
And they're paying for them. I think the cheapest one I saw was $65 on eBay when I was looking them up and everything. So they're people want them now. And this is actually the only one I ever saw in Walmart anywhere.
Yeah.
I saw one whole complete wave of these, and I bought all of them because there was 5 of them in the first wave, and that was all my local Walmart got was one wave with one case. So
yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
I bought all of them up because at that time
you didn't hurt no small kids doing it, did you, Shane?
About 6. Only about 6. I didn't need to play with adult toys. But anyway, no kids were injured. They were threatened, but not injured.
Yeah, hurt feelings don't count.
They'll get over that. But
You know, if they would have left the shin guards off, that would have been very close to the vintage look.
yeah, it
Yeah.
really is very close to the vintage look.
I mean, he's got the pin up there with the looks like little wings and all
Yeah,
that.
airborne.
Right here at the very top, he has pins and everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does a lot resemble it. But like you said, the shin guard, I think that's why they repainted the shin guards, because everybody was complaining about it.
Yeah.
But to me, it's a really nice figure.
Yeah.
And you're going to pay for him now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, and then of course we've got. I was going to take this one out of the box because I've got another one, but I didn't get it all the way out. But it's the Tiger Force Duke in the back. John, I've got your back in the car, by the way.
Yeah. Thank you.
From Rick. And this one is, I mean, it's so close to the original Tiger Force figure that, I mean, even the stripes on the pants are really close to the original
Nice.
Tiger Force. And I do like this Ram Cycle better than the green one. I mean, to me, it just looks a little better. I know they're the same bike and everything, but
Right.
it just looks a little, to me, it looks a little better with all the painting and stuff on it. But
I just think it would have been a little better if they'd have put the mouth on the
on
actual
the front,
the front.
Fairing.
yeah, on the front flare here, yeah, it would have looked better.
I think that, but I think they were wanting to get the white part because the color theme, so
Mhm, right. But it's like I said, it's really close to the original. No, it's still got the shin guards, but they are black, and that's a lot of everybody's complaints, the shin guards. But that's a really nice one also.
Cool.
And the last one I'm going to cover, like I said, I tried finding my Sigma 6 because I really enjoyed that Sigma 6 figure, but I couldn't find it. And if y'all seen the Sigma 6 figures, they're like 7 inches tall.
Yeah, it's
And
been a while. Yeah.
They're really nice. I do like them. I bought a whole box of them not long ago. But this one is it's the retro card. And I call him Angry Face Duke.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's really, really mad and screaming at somebody. I don't know if he's yelling Yo Joe or what, but I like to call him Mr. Angry Face.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I got them and I ain't opened them because
yeah.
he's one of the few I don't need to take pictures of. So, but
But they did put a file card on it, even though it's just very short and in 7 different languages.
Right. Yeah.
But
I seen a guy that was doing those file cards like that, cutting that strip down, and it was putting made like stickers where they could put it on the side, a little display thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Very creative.
Yeah. Those were cool.
But,
I think that Duke was based off the second movie, G.I. Joe 2, The Wrath of Cobra Commander.
Yeah.
could be.
Yeah.
The Wrath of Cobra Commander. You go, Cobra Commander!
I think you got him confused with Captain Kirk.
Yeah. But what I liked about this figure, though, it had the original guns.
Yeah.
The original OG
right.
gun style. And that I really enjoyed. I like those guns because it's just nostalgic with the cartoon.
Right.
But then you got the burst art on the card. Like I said, then you got the figures on the back that's coming: Scarlet, Roadblock, Destro, Cobra Commander, and Lady J. Which the Scarlet, apparently, she was pretty hard for people to find.
And she was. Yeah.
I never seen her.
But
I never saw her either.
Yeah, I got one
from another guy.
No, I did manage one.
I saw plenty of her at the time, but not after all that started going down.
Right.
The one I heard the hardest find was Roadblock. He was the only one I had to buy off the secondary market because I didn't see him anywhere. But, I really didn't think these would go off really good.
They did.
But they just completely cut them out.
Yeah.
But I thought with the art, the card art, the file cards, everybody would have went crazy over them and kept buying them. But eventually, they all started becoming peg warmers, and they just cut this line out completely.
Yep.
Well, I think they saw how quick those first ones sold out, but instead of doing another run of them, they just the next waves they made more like the one with Stalker and the Cobra Officer. They were tons.
Oh yeah,
of
and Grunt.
Oh, tons.
And-
Grunt,
and-
yeah.
Yeah,
if they went back and re-release, if they went back and re-release some of those others, then they would have probably made more sales off of it.
Right.
Yeah, I just bought that Cobra Officer because I didn't buy but 4 of them. I got Stalker, that Duke, Cobra Commander, and that Cobra Officer I got the other day for $5 at Walmart. So.
I've got like 4 of the Cobra Troopers. The ones I believe it's the ones with the mortar launcher.
Yes, yeah.
That's the
got-
officer.
Is that the officer?
Yeah.
I've got like 4 of those. So if anybody's looking,
They look like cheap plastic though. They're
Yeah.
just
They are cheaper. Yeah, they are cheaper.
you're right. They do look like they would just fall to pieces if you played with them a little too much.
Yeah, you got to be careful with them.
kind of that rubbery, gummy kind of plastic.
Yeah.
So,
I also was looking for my Renegade Duke from the cartoon series Renegades.
Oh, yeah.
And I could not find it anywhere either. But that was to me, that was a really nice concept of Duke. It was kind of more mixed between the modern and the vintage style Dukes to me.
That's
Right.
one of the missile launchers.
I don't think they have missile launchers.
Okay, yeah, I'm thinking. Okay, I got.
It was the Renegade cartoon series
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
on Hub.
Hub, yep.
Yeah, but I thought they were a great line also. But I really did think these retro cards would just take off, and
Yeah.
I thought this line would run. Kind of, and a lot of them resemble the 25th anniversary ones.
They're the
Also-
same figures, most of them, I
Yeah.
think.
The Scarlet and the Lady Jays and Roblox
Yeah.
and all them, they are really close to the 25th anniversary. Yeah. And I was looking for my 25th anniversary Duke and couldn't find him either. So
Yeah, I got that same Screaming Head Duke in a. I think the Mass Effect 2 or 3 pack it was.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
you're right.
Yep.
Yeah.
but yeah, that was pretty much all for me tonight. But
Cool.
I didn't want to get too deep into them because, like I said, there's just a ton of them,
Sure.
and we'd be here for a while.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt.
But yeah, I really Duke. He's iconic. Everybody loves Duke.
Oh yeah.
Big time. Yeah, he was the major player for the first quite a few episodes in the cartoon.
Actually, no. To be honest, there is this hate for Duke. Everybody's like all about Flint, but they hate Duke. And I don't know why. And I have asked people like, well, he's always getting captured. I'm like, well, it's because he leads from the front. So what do you think?
Exactly.
Well, that was the weird controversy about Duke when Flint was introduced, is that they kept Duke in the second command when it should have been Flint as a chief warrant officer. Second in command, it should have been Flint, but for some reason, the backstory was General Hawk had a personal affinity for Duke and kept him in second over normal rank protocol. So I think that kind of ruffled feathers. I really don't know why, but it did. I don't know. I think
Well, it's technically by his file card he turned down the promotion, but it was like they give it to him anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, right, because he still had the position. He just didn't have the rank or the pay, apparently.
Right.
So-
He didn't have the title.
and I think there was a lot of friction because of Scarlet. I think there was a lot of friction between the comic loyalists and the cartoon loyalists.
Maybe.
I think that was a lot of the problems, some of the problems with Duke as a character. I never minded Duke, but
For me being part of the geek, I honestly, and this is just my opinion, because some of my favorite characters is Captain America,
Yep.
Duke, and Superman.
right.
And everybody says I must be a Boy Scout because I like all these Boy Scouts. And I think Duke was a spit and polish sergeant.
Yep.
Superman is the goody American dream kind of
Right.
thing. Captain America is the by the way stuff. So I think there are just people who, Flint was a bit more of a hot dog, and I mean stuff. So when him and Lady J had their little things and stuff. And a lot of people seem to like Flint more, but I've always kind of figured it's probably when they started watching G.I. Joe and stuff like
yeah.
that. It's about the time because it really did get more interesting. The stories got more entertaining and stuff because when Duke it was just Duke and the rest of the bunch and stuff like that. You're looking at what the Pyramid of Darkness and the Weather Dominator and all that kind of
Mhm.
stuff. And a lot of those just like would come on for a week and then they'd go away for almost 6 months to a
Yeah,
year. or
exactly.
something.
Yeah.
Right.
And then they had about one season, and the next season you introduced Flint with Hulk and all that other kind of stuff, and you had all these new characters, and
Right.
you know they became Duke kind of become like Flash and Breaker and all the rest of them. That's just the old school bunch,
Right.
you know. So he just, you know, even to the point there are cartoon things where like when they got you can see where other people are in command and Duke's in the background and stuff. I'm like, Duke would never let that happen. It's
Right,
like the one where
exactly.
they promoted Shipwreck and Dial Tone
Yeah.
and stuff. I'm like, Duke was there the whole time. Duke would not let that happen, you know?
Right.
It's,
Yeah.
Right.
because they didn't go by rank, because it went by special unit, and you have special commanders for that special unit that's outside the norm
Right.
of military rank and file. So, but yeah, I don't.
But yeah, it was in that episode. It was Beachhead that was yelling at him about getting their act together.
Mhm.
But like you said, Duke didn't even have a speaking line in that whole episode. He was around. You see him running around in the background.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah.
yeah. I know they made them colonels, but since when has that ever mattered? I mean, there's a lot of colonels. Yeah. So rank wasn't about a thing. It's almost like a I don't know. I always seen G.I. Joe as more. I know it was military based stuff, but kind of more like the CIA would work. You'd have the same kind of command
Pretty
structure,
much.
captains and stuff. But if you're in the command of a certain unit, it doesn't matter your rank. You have command of that. You know,
Right.
It's
right.
like being on a ship. You can be a general, but you're captain of that ship. So you're an admiral. You shut up. That's my
Right.
ship. Yeah.
Right.
Man, so
Yep.
yeah.
I thought that was kind of like you talking about Flint, you know, like G.I. Joe Retaliation. You would thought he would have been the one commanding the team instead of Roadblock, but they basically Retaliation. They basically built the movie around The Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
Exactly.
did names
I
and
got a
all,
rock movie.
and it was a
Right.
Rock movie basically instead of a G.I. Joe movie.
I mean,
Right.
they threw Snake Eyes in for good measure just to get that crowd in, and
Right.
it was
But
an
they-
entertaining movie. I like Ray Stevens' portrayal of Firefly, but the way he did it, but I didn't like the way they presented Firefly.
Right.
He hardly ever had a mask on, and we know Firefly don't go without his mask.
I think I have to tell you, I hated that movie except for Bruce Willis. I think if you
Yeah.
were ever going to have Joe Colton, Bruce Willis did a great job.
Right.
I mean, that
Yeah.
line, "Are you all right?" Well, my cholesterol is a little high. I mean, that's hilarious. That's great stuff right there. You know, I mean, I like that. I couldn't care less about the fight scene in the mountains with the ninjas was pretty awesome.
Yeah, it was.
But I just didn't, you know, I was disappointed in those movies.
Yeah, I like Flint. I think the guy that played Flint done a good job, but he just didn't get a very big part. He didn't.
No, he didn't.
He should have had a bigger part. I mean, Lady
Right.
J had a bigger part, and
He
and
was
I
way
like
too
that.
young.
Right? Yeah, he was a little too young.
He's way too young.
You got to admit it was better than Rise of Cobra.
Yes,
The
it
best part
was.
of Rise of Cobra was what, the first couple of minutes. That was
Yeah.
pretty bad. You're going, this movie's gonna rock, and then
Right.
I didn't know. Nope.
Yeah, and you were
So
only
I'm right
off
the
by
opposite.
2
I'd rather
letters.
watch- I'm right the opposite. I like Rise of Cobra a lot better than Retaliation. I'm much. I just liked it because it's action from start to finish through the whole movie.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, there's no real slow moments in it. It just like, you know.
It reminded me too much of like the Punisher movie with Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah,
They didn't have the Punisher skull or nothing like that because they didn't want it to be too comic book, too stuff.
all right.
So when they did Rise of Cobra, you didn't see a Cobra emblem until it was on that ship at the very last of the movie.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm like, that wasn't Cobra. I mean, the Neo Vipers were cool. I give them that. The chick that played the Baroness expert, you know, and the guy that played Storm Shadow. I mean, I think they did the casting very well for that.
Yeah.
It's stuff. So it's just the movie sucked. It just,
Yeah.
I don't know, the super powered suits and all that kind of stuff. And was it Damon Wayans played Airborne? He was just, his part was annoying.
It was very annoying.
So, and who played General Hawk? What was his name?
Dennis
So,
Quaid.
Dennis
Yeah.
Quaid, yeah.
I think like I said, I think they had a good cast. They just had crap writing.
Well, I mean, breakers from the French Foreign Legion and all this other
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah,
It
come
was-
on, man.
That's kind of what got the well, I think that's what gets all the movies, because now they have to make it, because they realize that internationally is where they make all the money. So you got to try to cater to the.
Right.
It's not a real American hero. It's a international team now.
Yeah, sure.
And that kind of took away from, to me, that's what took away from it being a G.I. Joe team. It just.
Yep. Cool. Thank you, Shane. Did a great job. Awesome. What do you got going on, Rick? Got some picks this week?
I got nothing this week.
You had your daughter on here. That's more than enough.
I didn't know how long that would last. I've been having technical issues and stuff, and to the point that I had an argument with my other computer and stuff. Anyways, I'm the one that didn't hit the floor. So but let's talk about something fun. I got one picture I got to share.
All right, let's do it.
I think we can go around the table and offer our opinion. Okay, y'all ready for this? You know you are, because you just want to. Okay, let me get this.
This ain't gonna be good.
Yeah, it's going to be good. Whoever made this is hilarious. I did not make this.
He's 6'6". Somehow I doubt that.
Well, the hat a little bit taller. Yeah, looks like he's taller than me.
I'm pretty sure there ain't nothing in Canada 6'6" other than the snowbanks. I'm not.
The moose.
Yeah, the moose.
The moose and the BS from their prime minister or whatever you call him. But anyway,
whatever he is.
So this guy gets more hate and stuff than it's crazy. And whether you're a fan or not, they got him for stealing content, because he does a lot what we do. We pass along information we found on the internet.
Right, because not everybody can have an inside source. It's just not possible.
We're not committing plagiarism, because it's like, geez, come on, this is a community, and we share information, and we try, at least with us here at the Bama Mercs, we actually try to help each other. We're not out here just I posted a picture that I did with kind of like a movie still with my new Falcon figure holding Duke, pulling out the snake from the chest, and people I actually got comments like, you couldn't have waited for the Falcon figure, you couldn't have done. It's like, well, I'm like, that is the Falcon figure. It's like, well, that's a pretty cool concept. I'm like, concept? I'm going to make a meme that goes, and it's just going to say, do you even Joe, bro? So, because it's like,
yeah, right.
They're in these groups, and it's like, and I don't understand why you're in a G.I. Joe group when you don't know shiz about G.I. Joe.
Right.
You're just hopping on something because you think it's cool. You heard somebody around the water, the water heater thing going, hey, I got G.I. Joe figures. And like, oh, that's cool. I want to be a part of that. And like, no, I mean, so I don't know. This guy, I know people call him a clown, everything else, Now, first I started watching him. I thought he might be a good source for information. He seemed to come across as, because he is connected some, at least in the media industry, and maybe, stuff, but he puts on a good presentation, but he's wrong more than he's right. And and if he ain't trying to predict the future with some crystal ball, he's just whining about stuff.
Well, he's always Chicken Little in it too, man.
Yeah, exactly.
So what's the sky's falling? The sky's falling.
Yeah, right, exactly, Shane. I will tell you, I started watching this guy about a year ago. And I got to tell you, he was much better a year ago than he is now. This is just clickbait stuff now, and it has been for the last 3 or 4 months. Geez, the whole month of December, was it? He didn't post a thing.
Yeah.
Nothing. And then it was, he wants to sell, Viper Island gear, and I just, like I said, he's
probably getting his copyrights down right.
Yeah, he's a strange guy. I don't know, but if I wouldn't mind him anywhere near as much if, like Rick said, if he wasn't wrong so often. Some of the stuff that he's come out with about, some of the code names on the store computers and things like that have just been whack. I mean, just flat out wrong. So I don't know. You know,
And he likes to play victim. Like, well, the only reason everybody's against me is because they kiss up to Hasbro.
Yeah,
I
well,
won't do that. So
yeah,
support me because I'm the rebel. So yeah,
uh-huh.
I'm the true hero. I'm like, okay, so yeah.
But he seems to be on this anti-capitalism kick lately, which is just. I hate to break it to you, buddy, but Hasbro is in business to make money, not make you happy.
Exactly.
You can't say that because there's too many entitled people in these groups and in the community at all. I mean, we all, when you say that the Star Wars community is kind of toxic, you laugh.
Yes, right.
But when they relaunched G.I. Joe here recently, you realize that it's just the fan community is toxic.
It is. It is. A bunch of spoiled brats.
It's like you make a comment and some people to correct you. I'm like, who made people think they had the right to correct me?
Right.
I didn't ask for your opinion and stuff, and you don't know my experience with stuff or anything like that. So, but it's just the internet, I guess.
It's just the internet. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
Especially social media.
Yeah.
So
the anti-social media. Yeah, I mean, I don't have anything. I joke and stuff. I don't have anything against this guy personally because the fact of the matter is he's making money off of this.
Mhm.
But I would like him more if he was a little more careful with his information. And like you said, he's got this whole rebel thing going on, right? You know, I'm the rabble rouser to Hasbro. It's like you are not Hasbro's arch enemy, buddy. You don't even rate on the clicker anywhere as far as Hasbro is concerned. That's to steal a line from Star Wars. That's a delusion of grandeur. It's just not
To
reality.
me, it's like after every wave that's been released in the last 6 waves, oh, this is it. It's done.
Right, exactly.
And
Right.
then
sell your collections.
a couple months later, here's a whole nother new wave with even better looking figures, and it's
Right.
just getting to me. It's getting better and better.
I think that's why that Duke figure and all those are getting, because I think
Right.
people really were kind of on the fence about it. Now it's really taking off.
Yeah.
And it's like people are like, I really want these. I got to make some cool stuff. And I'm like, well, I got to have the ones that you started with. So
Right.
even if I don't really like them, and not much on rumors, but I did hear that they may do a vintage thing of or the carded thing of try to do a classic Duke and Scarlet. So
Yeah.
put them a card. So I'm like, you'll never find one. Please don't make it a Walmart exclusive because we'll sure never find it. So
Oh no, I'm about done with Walmart because I don't have any hopes of seeing any carded figures after the Gung Hos and the Destros that are clogging things up. I don't expect to see those figures. I think those figures will be released and gone before the shelves are cleared of Lady J, Baroness, Destro, and Gung Ho.
The Destros and Gung Hos have gone off of the shelves at my local Walmarts.
That's good because we're jammed with them all of a sudden down here.
They put them on the shelves, and in 2 weeks they were completely gone.
Wow,
yeah,
good.
about the same in Decatur. I think there's one Gung Ho left, but yeah, we still got 15 Lady J's and like 10 Baronesses.
The Lady J's at mine are now backed by the electronics on the clearance aisle.
Good.
For $17. So
yeah,
but we don't have anywhere in the toy aisle for classified or the Masters of the Universe.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they've been shoved way at the end of the aisle, and there's only 2 pegs for them.
We don't have any at all.
Yeah, so
even the ones, the Naked Stratos and all them from the Masters of the Universe is on the clearance aisle for like $9. So I mean, I think it's going to be bad for Walmart's as far as you're going to have to order online to get this exclusive.
I think so. Yeah.
Well,
I think you're right.
They've shifted that packaging and all that kind of stuff where you can't see what you're buying anyway. So, and to be honest, I got the Loki from the Loki thing. I got the old Loki.
Mm-hmm.
The way they wrapped the second head on this is really awesome. It's not warped, very well protected. I ain't opened it, pulled this out and stuff. But I mean, I'm kind of like, I need like more of these because I've got other figures that have little horns, and it's just really protecting it well. So I'm impressed on how they package it in there.
Yeah.
And yet reduce a whole lot of plastic. So, and they're not as warped as they used to when they come out of the shells. You know, the guns would always be warpy and all that stuff. So it's like, but here's my heresy moment. Okay, my heresy moment. These pinless joints, I hate them. I hate them. They don't match. I can't correct them if they're warped or something, because the old pin, you just poke it on out, reset it. You know, can't do none of that anymore. So, you know, and if you break it, how are you going to fix it then? So you've pretty much, in every G.I. Joe, I just got I know John has them. I don't know if you've opened them up or not. I had to bathe every one of them in hot water. They have more sticky joints, it was like, okay, if I got to do this, they taking lessons from NECA, I guess. So, you know, because I call it the NECA bath, because every time you get one, you might as well soak it in hot water so you don't break it. You know, but yeah, this new line of Joe's, you know, Falcon and stuff. I ain't opened the barbecue. I don't know if I even keep it, but you know, it's just, I don't know. I'm just not impressed. I'm just not there for it. I mean, stuff. I think they did an outstanding job on stuff, especially like CoverGirl.
Great picture.
I think.
Yeah, nice. Yeah.
That's my pipe dream there, because you got the Wolverines.
Right. Yeah.
It'd be nice if they gave us one stuff, but yeah, I think they've done a really good job on that figure stuff. But these arms right here snap off. You twist them too much, they just pop right off. The legs were seized when I got it, so I mean stuff. And I'm not. I know a lot of people do, but you're very limited on how you can move her neck.
Yeah.
So I miss the hinge. I like people to look up, look down, stuff, and then you get more tilt and stuff. Well, you got that in the neck. So I don't like the direction they're going with this. I don't know. You see these little bitty elbow joints here. It's when you straighten, it's got big gaps in it and stuff. I'm like, that's why I don't collect Mafex, because they're freaking weird looking, you know. So and the big knee, and if you look, I mean, I adjusted the color, but it's like it's a whole other shade. I don't know. I'm just not a fan of it.
Knee pads, man.
Yeah, well, you know.
No.
The one I got.
No. No. Slam on the brakes. No.
Don't be reading my mind, Dave.
Yeah, well, it's a coloring book, buddy. It wasn't hard.
I have a little self-control. Thank you very much.
I know, but you were thinking about it.
Looks like a royal queen.
Oh, it almost rolled right out my tongue. Now.
Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of
yeah, I was thinking knee pads promotion. Blah, blah.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Pads were worn and the rotors were warped. Their brakes just weren't going to work good on that one. So,
Rick, did you get some crap over the Falcon photo you did where he was being held captive, and he said, "I got to wait 5 more minutes, hold out 5 more minutes."
Oh yeah, because
you talked crap over that too. That was a great photo, also.
Yeah, it wasn't crap over the thing as far as
I'm talking about. They said, "Oh, what was that about? What does that mean?"
Yeah, because nobody knew. Nobody knew what it was, and I'm going. Are you again? I need to do a meme. Do you even Joe Bro? Because why are you in a group?
Yeah.
If you don't recognize that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, instantly I knew what it is.
Of course, I've gotten comments. Well, it's a good thing you put that bottom picture on there. Otherwise, it would look like.
Oh,
what that Falcon would be needing those knee pads.
See, here we go. You know. It's just a race to the bottom. I'm telling you.
but yeah,
I saw that and I was shocked that someone even would question why you made this picture.
Yeah,
I mean, they do not know anything really about G.I. Joe.
Some of my most favorited pictures that people really enjoy are those that are, I guess you could be like a photo still from a movie
Yeah, recreation of
like that one.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, you couldn't wait for Falcon. I'm like, that is Falcon.
It is
yeah.
the Falcon.
That looks nothing like Flint. Well, I get my animals mixed up. Okay, God. I'm just, it's strange. It's, I don't know.
Guys, though, holy cow, you got to admit, looking at those two figures together, it makes that Falcon face so much worse.
Yeah, that's after I removed the lipstick, but I screwed up the lips doing it.
Who was the character on Dick Tracy? Remember?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's who that face looks like, isn't it?
Lips. When they called him Lips.
Yeah, something.
Lips Madness or something like that.
He looks like Charles Bronson to me.
Charles Bronson.
As soon as I saw that Falcon face, I was like, Charles Bronson.
Yeah.
It's terrible. Maybe
He's
that's why
supposed
that
to
Corey
be-
guy got
he's
fired.
supposed to be Duke's younger half brother,
Right.
not his older.
Well, what
But-
half is he? Because he doesn't quite look.
If they would have
Daddy.
just took the scarf off and left him and just called him Joe Colton, he looks like an older seasoned vet. Is what he looks
Yeah.
like. He
Yeah.
would have been a good Joe Colton to me.
Yeah. Anything, but yeah, it's just very strange. I don't know what the deal was with that.
Yeah, I wound up doing, I had to do freaking head swap. I don't, it took me forever. Somebody had to tell me where I got the head. It was going to bend, but I don't think it turned out too bad.
No, not at all.
Looks a little younger and everything else, a bit more serious and stuff. So, I mean, that's going to be my head swap. But I did finally, just so you know, fix the original head. And I'll end my thing with this because I think it's just, they miss how awesome it is. So,
Oh, now he looks like a horse waiting for a carrot.
he's really happy about it.
Jeez. That is just horrible. I don't know what in the world.
See, you can make stuff worse.
Right. Yeah, right. Well, what do you think, gentlemen?
I think I'm done talking.
Yeah. So, just as a heads up, I think I didn't discuss this with you guys yet, but I think it's safe to say that in 2 weeks, a bunch of us are going to meet up over at Toylanta, and I'm guessing there's going to be probably a considerable amount of video that'll end up posted at some point in time. So if we seem late or things come at you in batches, don't be surprised because like I said, I suspect we'll end up with a bunch of stuff being videotaped that day. It's going to be a lot to process and a lot to handle and get shifted back and forth and everything else. So think about that. If you're already going to be over in that area or something, we should have our T-shirts by then, so we'll probably be relatively easy to spot. If not, maybe we'll start a post or something and see who's going, and we can get met up over there or whatever. Like I said, geez, we got a pretty good group of people going over there at this point in time. So something for you to think about.
I think we got about 7 or 8 going.
Yeah.
I talked to Dan Strickland today about going. He's kind of on the fence.
Yeah.
Maybe he will show up and be with a group.
Nice.
Yeah, we would definitely all need to meet up and get a group photo with our awesome shirts on.
Yep, exactly. Yep.
Y'all can do that while y'all at John's house eating. Is everybody meeting at John's?
I don't know. I don't think we haven't sorted that out quite yet, have we?
I am.
Are you? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm meeting.
I mean, we could easy enough too because we got to go right by either way.
Yeah, because if
south.
Nancy's cooking, it's going to be worth it.
Yeah, we would be further south because we'd go right across 20 over into Atlanta that way.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, I'll hold it down up here in y'all's absence in case Cobra decides to attack.
All right, that's a good thing to know. I'd appreciate it. Good thing.
As always, I have to work.
Yeah.
That's been my thing. I used years ago. I'd get toys from Hasbro will take pictures of, and they'd be showed it to San Diego Comic-Con and stuff. And people were like, "Well, I'll run into you there." I'm like, "No, you won't.
Yeah.
You'll see my pictures, but you won't see me." And you know,
Yeah.
they have that breakfast in the morning or lunching or whatever it was stuff. I've turned down more invitations, stuff that people would just die to get into.
Yeah, exactly.
For some reason it always falls on I have to work. So, and it sucks. Maybe do me a favor because I'd probably max out every credit card I had. If I
Wow.
was looking.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not
I'll
all
be
that
looking
smart.
for you, man.
You'll be
You
looking
know-
for it. Well, I guess.
I'll keep you in mind on stuff.
Mhm.
But yeah, in fact, I've never attended a Comic-Con. Not one of the big ones. I've attended
No.
some of the local ones, but I've never been to the big ones
No.
because I'm the point that I want to dress up and go to one. So I do the cosplay and the whole thing. Yeah. So
Right. Cool.
anyway,
So,
I'll shut up.
Make sure you keep your phone handy that day, Rick, because I'll probably hit you with a bunch of thousands of pictures.
Oh,
You
dude,
need this? You
I'll
need this?
if I ain't sleeping, I'll be at work, and that's just me driving around in a patrol car doing nothing but watching YouTube videos. Sometimes both at the same time.
Well, there you go.
I only drive like 3 miles an hour. So. But yeah.
Nice. Well, I think that's a wrap for this week, gentlemen.
All right, guys.
Most of us are got a week ahead of us, so I'm sure most of you do too. So
Yeah, we took a break last week because life is really catching up to us. So
yeah, the weather, like we were talking before, the weather is catching up with a lot of us. Life in general is just catching up with us. Life in the extraordinary is catching up with us. So it's a tough time of year all the way around. But
my closing thing is we may have messed up the Woman International Woman Day. It does not mean it doesn't mean nothing to us.
no, that's not true.
We are all traditional folks, and we freaking love, respect, and appreciate women and their contributions to this
100%.
country, our whole society in general.
Oh yeah, big time.
I mean, I know myself, and I can probably speak for the rest of us, but we all have mamas.
Mhm.
So and you know and stuff. So we meant no disrespect for any ladies
absolutely
out there
not.
that
No.
do watch, because we got nothing but love and respect for everything else. And
Right.
I'm so old fashioned. I think women are to be cherished and protected. And that whole,
I do too. And yeah, thank you for that, because it's true. I mean, I have my wife of going on 30 years who I love more than anything. My second greatest grace on God's green earth, without a doubt. We raised 4 daughters. So if it wasn't my wife that changed my attitude about a lot of things when I was much younger, bringing up 4 little girls definitely did. So we joke, we kid, thanks to Shaki, because I think she knows the spirit which it was all coming from. We're not belittling anything. We're just having fun.
well, she was happy. She floated out of here. She was so happy. She just
That's good.
You did an excellent job, really.
That's
did.
good. Yeah, she did great. And I know she
She's
wanted
looking
no
forward-
part of it. So
She's looking forward to Shark Week.
Shark Week. I think I gotta make a banner. It's gonna be Shark Week.
Rocky Week.
Shark Week with Shaki. That'll actually be funny.
Guys, it's good to see y'all again. Stuff.
Yes.
I mean,
Yep.
I got to see Shane today. So.
Cool.
But yeah, he's got your stuff, John, and everything. And Dave, it's good to see you sitting upright and all that stuff.
Yeah, I got a couple more weeks and that'll be it for a while. I'm all scheduled for the 3rd. So
what it's worth, you're my prayers, brother, man.
hey, I appreciate that. No, that's worth a lot. Because I'll take them, because this will be my 5th spinal surgery and my 3rd surgery overall since I got here in Alabama 2 years ago. So
Well, we do got some good doctors. There are a lot of celebrities and other things that travel to Alabama for UAB and all the doctors. I mean, there are some.
Oh yeah, I'm happy with mine. I am very happy with mine. So it is what it is, guys. So thanks much for watching, and thank you guys for contributing as always. And let's hang it up for a week.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Thanks, guys.